What's going on, everybody? Morgan J. Ingram here, host of the SDR Chronicles, bringing you sales, SDR, and entrepreneurial knowledge for your prospecting and sales development journey. Because at the end of the day, you got to be focusing on prospecting to get yourself bolstered and ready to go. And so, topic today is going to be very granular. I'm personally excited about it. We're going to talk about how do you use LinkedIn in the IT space. I train a lot of people that are in IT space. I know a lot of reps that are targeting people in IT, and I know things are different. So we have Matt. We know each other for quite a bit here. So I'm excited that he's on.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt, we know each other for a while, sales development manager at GTT, and he's going to dive into this topic. So Matt, tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you're excited about this topic today.
Yeah, so I appreciate you having me on. Kind of like Morgan just mentioned, I started as an SDR. I started working my way up to ultimately manage a team. I started following Morgan's content and really getting engaged with it and with him, as a person, because I watched his journey. So I started following Morgan when he was posting as an SDR, and then got promoted to manager. And then, when I first got that promotion to manager,
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, I'm going to reach out to Morgan and try and figure out, hey, what were the pitfalls that you fell into? How can we best do that? Learned a lot of good stuff. So I've been doing this for sales development now for 4 years. Started as an SDR. This is my second SDR team to run. And I've been doing this over at GTT for about the last 5 months.
So I ask people this when they're like in an SDR role or SDR manager role. How did you get into sales development? I know you didn't wake up one day and you're like, you know what? I really want to be an SDR and get in sales development leadership. I know that didn't happen. So what happened there? Let us know.
Yeah, so I started, I was in college. I was studying to become a dentist.
Okay.
I took all the dental school exams. I took all of the, did all the shadowing, the community service, everything that was involved in that. Didn't get in my first round. They said, out of 1,000 applicants, they were taking 100 people. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a big Vegas guy, but these aren't good odds. So it was going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of money, a lot of debt. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm really passionate about sales. I've been doing sales, just slinging shoes in the mall in college. And I just decided, hey, I'm pretty good at this. I'm going to take this to the next level. And so I actually had a roommate of mine in college that worked at my last company. And he said, hey, man, I didn't know anything about networking, IT, anything. He said, come on, it's a fun company. It's a good company to work for. So I found myself over there, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with I played sports in high school, and I'm really competitive, and I fell in love with the fact that, I'm chasing this meeting every single time. Every day is new. Every month is new. I felt like, it was really something that I did well at and succeeded at. And so I kind of got stuck. And so now I'm stuck, in SDR roles. And I love managing people and just kind of teaching best practices and, just watching the future sales person just flourish into something great. So
yeah, absolutely. And so this goes right into what we're going to talk about today is LinkedIn prospecting and within the IT space. So I know people that are targeting IT personas, you're probably fired up. I would take your notepad out because I know I'm about to learn something here. So Matt, first and foremost, let's talk about LinkedIn before we dive into prospecting. Why do you feel like people are hesitant and afraid to prospect on LinkedIn?
I think it's more along the lines of, at least what I hear from my SDRs is,
Absolutely.
hey, these people aren't on LinkedIn. They're not actively changing things on LinkedIn. They're not, it's not an effective tool. It's kind of personal. It's in this little zone where, it's not quite Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, but it's more of a professional, professional zone. And so there's a level of comfortability of, going after that person on more of an intimate, social level. And so, especially in the IT field, we leverage LinkedIn because we're going after people whose jobs require them to keep people from clicking links and teaching people how not to go down the dodgy alleys of the internet and all of that. And so, when we send them content or we send them videos through email, a lot of times their spam filters are completely blocked out to where none of those links even make it to their inbox. And if they do, they're not going to click it. because they don't know you, and this is just some random video. So my
Yeah.
team leverages LinkedIn as that aspect, because LinkedIn, if you notice when you click on a link, it doesn't take you to an external site. It keeps you on the platform. So from a security standpoint, it's a little bit more secure. Obviously, it's social media, so there's lots of ways that can happen.
Absolutely.
And whatever. But it is a great point where, LinkedIn is the tool that every single IT decision maker has their cell phone on them. I mean, that's the world that we live in now, and that's a form of communication that's going to go right to their phone every time, and it's a different notification. It's not a voicemail or an email, which they get all day. It's something else, and it's something that they're checking, on the weekends, or they're checking, in their spare time. So.
Absolutely. That's how I feel. And then also, you mentioned the email. Like, there's so many people are getting blown up on email nowadays. And I think LinkedIn is a new channel that we can now take advantage of and get the most out of. So, within that, you're saying, hey, reps are feeling, hey, they're not there and things of that nature. For you personally, you obviously saw success with this. This is why you're telling your reps to do it. What is your process in going about and targeting these people on LinkedIn? And then tell us a success story. And then we'll dive into how you're doing it for your team.
Yeah. So I know this is going to challenge the status quo, but
that's what we're here for.
Yeah. And, a lot of your videos and a lot of your content that I've seen have talked about personalizing invites. And I think when you're reaching out to salespeople, that's a really good tactic, because we all can appreciate a really good tactic on getting a hold of us, right? Sending us a nice little message or something. One thing that we found in the IT space is that usually leads to a declined invitation, because it's like, hey, I'm a salesperson and I just want to learn more about your role and that kind of stuff. And so there's different schools of thoughts on it. There's definitely reps that have been successful sending personalized invites. But our main driving factor comes to personalizing that message, that first message after they've connected with you. Whether you're sending a voicemail message, you're sending a video message, you're doing a screen share to where you're going to their profile and you're kind of digging through that and saying like, hey, I noticed that you did this project, or you worked with this customer, and we've worked with that too, and you make that connection with them. And so that's really the big thing. I mean, it's just, how do I think outside of the box? How do I make this not generic? And then how do I get them to respond to me?
I like this. So we're talking about here, you're doing a screen share, you're doing a LinkedIn voice message, you're doing a video, but you're saying you guys do not do a personalized note because that leads to not a response. So tell us a little bit more about this screen share. What are reps doing there? Like, what if there's nothing on the LinkedIn profile? Are you screen sharing their website? I want to dive a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah, so it can be 3 different things. So you can screen share their profile.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to get them to click it, because you can tell it's personal, and that you just created content. You can look at their website. A big thing for GTT is that we serve multinational clients, people that are global, large organizations. And so what's kind of our main bread and butter is the number of locations. And so you can pull out the information that if we know that they're a good fit for us because they have a lot of locations, well, we can go to their website and pull that list up and go through location by location how we can help. But on the flip side, we also use our website, and we direct them through the website. A lot of times if you send them a website link and say, hey, check out our website, that link gets lost and they don't. But if you do a video showing them your website, and they watch that video, then you've navigated them through your website. So it's a good way to drive traffic there.
Nice. Okay, so that's that piece. And then the video, what are you saying in the video? You're not putting like, hey, what up, IT? Like, I'm assuming that there's probably a procedure with this video. So tell us a little about that.
Yeah, so the video is it's a personalized video to them. It's if I'm prospecting you and I look at your profile, hey, Morgan, I noticed that we have a similar background. You've been through this. Maybe we mentioned something. Maybe you're here in Dallas with me, and we talk about the new Cowboys head coach and how that new season is going to look, and something like that, just to kind of break open the conversation, and then just say, I appreciate you connecting with me. This is what I'm looking forward to speaking to you about in the future. And again, and this, LinkedIn is not an immediate meeting. It's not a tool that you use to immediately get a meeting. That's the fun. LinkedIn is a slow process. building a relationship, getting this person comfortable with talking to me before you're asking for the close. So that's kind of how we use it.
So you're not, so to clarify this, everybody, you're not asking for a meeting. You're just saying, hey, this is something I noticed, and you're asking a thought-provoking question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then are you following up on that video if they don't respond, or you're just leaving it as is?
Typically we'll leave it as is, and then we'll go back to the phone, email, and try that avenue,
Okay.
and just let them know that, hey, we sent you this video. But then if it's been a couple days, yeah, some reps will send follow-up videos to those. Some reps will just respond to those videos and say, hey, did you have a chance to watch it? Just to kind of poke them and remind them that, they took time to make that video for them.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And you're doing this for every person that you connect with?
No.
Okay.
So there's a couple criteria. Is one, I don't want to take time out of my day to send a video to somebody who has one company that they've worked for, nothing's filled out, no followers, no activity on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So if it's more focused around the people that are active, the people that are producing content or commenting or liking or whatever. And so, typically what we would do is we would either save that lead on LinkedIn Sales Navigator and kind of follow that activity, or we would just take one look at their profile and be able to tell, what kind of activity are they generating on the platform.
Cool. I mean, I think this is valuable information across the board. So you're saying, hey, within the IT space, how we're doing is you're doing no invitations at all, no like notes in there. And then once you get it, LinkedIn voice message, maybe do a video, and then, or you're doing some type of screen share. So that's how it's set up. Now, are there other things that you are doing on LinkedIn to get meetings? Are you commenting on their posts, liking their posts? What are some other things that are happening?
That's really it. I mean, it's mainly the just reaching out. There's not a lot that we do on top of that. I mean, if we do see something that makes sense for us to comment or like on, and we do, sometimes we'll pass content over. Just, hey, I saw this post about XYZ, and I think we can help in this area. Here's some content to show how we can do that. We really use it to just kind of differentiate, ourselves in the market.
And then because I think that's spot on. Right, we talked about in the beginning. LinkedIn is where you want to be, and I schedule majority of my meetings through LinkedIn. I'm still using phone, still using email, but LinkedIn has been a great source. So one of those things on top of that, you said that we're using this, we're getting meetings, we're doing videos, we're doing LinkedIn voice messages. When you're doing this step, do you do all three of them in a campaign? So I could do a video, a screen share, and a voice message to one person, or it's you choose one of those three options?
You choose one of them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And if we start seeing a lot more success and, start driving lots of appointments out of these, then we'll probably start focusing a lot more of our activity on that. But I always tell them, don't make one video and tell me that video doesn't work. You got to make at least 100 of them, and then let's look at the data and see what that suggests.
Yeah, and so the reason I had asked that is because I wanted to see if you guys had like a studio, like in the office, like, all right, everyone make your videos and your LinkedIn voice messages. So I just want to see what's going on there.
Yeah, no, we take our laptops into a conference room and just record them right there.
And so I like it. Make it real.
Yeah.
And so in the IT space, as we know, people will think about how do you get people to engage with that video, right? Because it's IT, they're skeptical. They obviously won't, but as reciprocated from a sales or marketing professional would be to reciprocate towards video as an IT. So tell us the experience there of how do you get people to open up to watch these videos across the board?
Yeah, it all starts with a truly customized video. Customizing the title, customizing, what that first frame is that's requiring them to click. Using their name in the video to where they know that this isn't just a replicated video. Just be like, hi, my name's Matt, and this is what I do, where you can generate that and send it to whoever you want. Those are the main ways. And then I think also just continuing to follow up on that. Maybe make another video, just showing that, you're continually trying to reach out to them if they're not clicking on it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I like the LinkedIn tactics that you have. Anything else like in terms of LinkedIn that you want to dive deeper into to give the audience that are targeting IT personas to be mindful of? Because I know this is a different persona, so I know people would be locked in on that.
Yeah, I mean, not much that I can think of, honestly. That's how we're using it there. I guess if you want to throw out one more, I mean, it would be using it to figure out who are the right prospects to go after. Who should you be going after? I think LinkedIn's a great tool to figure out. I think it's the most raw. I mean, you look at great tools like Discover.org or Lucia or some of these other plugins that give you contact data, but they don't necessarily have the most accurate and up-to-date information. Whereas LinkedIn, it's your online digital resume. And so when you're actually looking for people, it's a great tool to start with and to start figuring out, hey, these are the people I want to look up on Discover.org or whatever to go after. And then this is the information I can use about those people in order to kind of spark a conversation. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the pieces there. Anything you want to, LinkedIn voice messages. I want to touch on this last piece, and I saved it for last on purpose because a lot of people are like, I don't know about this. Like, I don't think people will respond. What's been the response on LinkedIn voice message? Are you saying things differently than the videos and the screen share? The audience wants to know, Matt.
Yeah, so I know this is dear to your heart because you're the one that, you don't know this, but you're the one that taught me to use those.
Yeah.
And, when that first came out, I was like, oh, this is an awesome video. Yeah. So, I mean, I think the main thing with the LinkedIn voicemails is it's just like any voicemails. Keep it short, have a point to it, make sure that it's not something that sounds too salesy. It's just something like, hey, thanks for accepting my connection request. Looking forward to talking to you further. Something to just to get them to respond positively back to that. It's not something like, hey, Morgan, when are you free to go to have a quick conversation or something like that? Because then they're immediately going to be like, no more communication with this person. Yeah. They're just going to try and pitch me all the time. I think it's also a great way to ask questions. And just say, like, in the technology space, everything's always changing. And so you can ask them, it's a great chance to ask them, like, hey, what do you think about this technology? Have you guys evaluated it? Do you think it would be good for your business? And then however they respond to that, you can either leverage that into an appointment, or you can just keep the conversation going.
So drill into that. Like, how are you framing out your questions? Are the questions already framework for each persona? Or are reps just randomly asking whatever questions that they want? Like, what's going on there? Because you've mentioned questions multiple times, so I want to clarify that for everybody.
Yeah, so the way that I teach questions, and I've talked about it a couple times, but more of it is about figuring out what do you do as a business best? Where's the value that you bring? And then how do I form questions that are going to get me to one of those buckets?
Yeah.
If it's customer service that you excel at, what questions can I ask to get you to respond saying that's the part that's lacking on your side? And so, I would do a question based on that. It's more of, these are, what are the buckets that are going to allow you to set an appointment, and then framing some questions to get a response about that particular pain point.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thanks so much for your time here on the SDR Chronicles and really breaking down this process on LinkedIn. I think a lot of people will find benefit from this because this is simple to do, obviously, but at the same time, it's hard to execute because obviously you're continuously doing this. So, Matt, any lasting insights that you have, any shout outs that you want to give as we depart here?
Yeah, I guess just shout out to my team that does this at a high level every single day. And then just the company here at GTT, and that we are, this is just a small piece in the fact that we're in our industry, we're challenging the status quo. We're changing the way that customers are viewing their network providers and all of that. And so, just changing up our outreach is the way that we're proving that on the front end of the funnel. And so, I think if you liked this, if you want to know more, let me know. Hit me up on LinkedIn. I believe in this platform so much. This is the only one form of social media that I have. So I'm just on here all the time. So hit me up here.
Deleted the rest of them.
I'm out. Yep. I don't need that negativity.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you so much. And as I always say, guys, keep dialing, and I'll see you all soon.